Welcome back. So before the break, we were speaking about the thick liquid that is formed in the stomach. So now let us find out what happens to it. It then moves to the small intestines, and digestive juices secreted by the glands in the walls of the small intestines will digest most of the chyme into dissolvable particles or nutrients for absorption into the cells. So that is what happens to the chyme. It is then further digested by digestive juices that are secreted by the walls of the intestines, and then absorption starts taking place in the small intestines over here. Right. And then from there, we are moving on to the large intestines, which is also our colon here now. This is where we are. Right. So the muscular tube that stretches from the small intestine to the anus serves as temporary storage place for undigested waste material, which we know as feces, such as excess water, salt, and or indigestible fiber. So that is what happens in the large intestines. It serves as temporary storage for food that was undigested or substances that were undigested, such as water, salts, and also fiber. So that is what happens in the large intestines. Then what happens after that? Then we are moving on to the rectum and the anus, which is this part. So this is your rectum, and this small part here is the anus where the ejection takes place. So now the remaining feces are passed into the rectum, then through the anus, and this is called egestion. So everything that was temporarily stored in the large intestines is then passed out through the anus as feces, and that process is called the process of egestion. Now, this is a picture that shows the whole digestive system, starting from the mouth over here, the esophagus going down, we have our stomach, our small intestine, and then our large intestine, we have our rectum, and the anus, which allows the passing out of the food. So we are going to look at the last part of this lesson, which is the health issues that are related to the digestive system. Common diseases of the digestive system include ulcers. So when we are speaking about ulcers, these are open sores that we normally found on the lining of the mouth, on the lining of the esophagus, the stomach, or the upper portion of the small intestine. So those are called ulcers. Ulcers can be very painful, and they are generally caused by bacterial infection and some by medication. So if you're taking excess medication, you can end up having ulcers as well. This picture is just showing us a lady who's very uncomfortable. You can see that she's holding her stomach, probably has ulcers in the lining of her stomach or the intestines. So that is the first disease that we come across in regards to digestive system. The second one is anorexia nervosa. So here we are speaking about a disorder where people have a deep fear for gaining weight. So it says here, people who suffer from this eating disorder have an abnormal fear of gaining weight. They don't want to gain weight. So this can lead to many health issues such as bone thinning, kidney damage, heart problems, and even death. So that's how dangerous anorexia can be. When you are looking at this picture, you can see this lady has a tape on her hand, which means she's constantly measuring herself, and she doesn't want to show her face because she probably doesn't want to see how she looks like, because she thinks she gained weight, or we don't know. Right. So we are going to move on to the third one, which is diarrhea, and this one is common. We probably all know it. Someone who passes very frequent loose, watery stool has diarrhea. So many diseases cause undigested food to pass through the large intestine too quickly for water to be reabsorbed. If you remember, we said absorption happens in the intestines. So now if absorption did not happen, that means water was not taken in, nutrients were not taken in. So the liquid that was formed in the stomach is passed out as it is. That is how we end up with diarrhea. Then, as you can see here, this person is waiting to go into the loo, and it looks like he's in a hurry because these lines are showing us that something is happening in the stomach. Probably the diarrhea wants to come out. So yeah, that is what happens during diarrhea. And then the last one is liver cirrhosis. So this disease slowly replaces healthy liver tissue with scar tissue and eventually prevents the liver from functioning properly. So this one is very scary. And how do we normally have this? This is when a person abuses alcohol or fatty liver that is caused by obesity and diabetes. These are the common causes of liver cirrhosis. So as you can see here, this is how a healthy liver needs to look like. And when you have liver cirrhosis, the healthy tissue is then replaced with this brown looking like tissue, and obviously it is unhealthy. So those are the 4 health issues that are related to the digestive system. I am going to stop here for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.